Iberia, Líneas Aéreas de España S.A.Operadora, Sociedad Unipersonal, trading as Iberia, is the flag carrier of Spain, founded in 1927. Based in Madrid, it operates an international network of services from its main bases of Madrid-Barajas Airport and Barcelona El Prat Airport. Iberia, with Iberia Regional and with Iberia Express, is a part of Iberia Group. In addition to transporting passengers and freight, Iberia Group carries out related activities, such as aircraft maintenance, handling in airports, IT systems and in-flight catering. Iberia Group airlines fly to over 109 destinations in 39 countries, and a further 90 destinations through code-sharing agreements with other airlines. On the 8th of April 2010, it was confirmed that British Airways and Iberia had signed an agreement to merge, making the combined operation the third largest commercial airline in the world by revenue. Shareholders of both carriers approved the deal on the 29th of November 2010. The newly merged company, known as International Airlines Group, was established in January 2011, although both airlines will continue to operate under the current brands. History: Iberia, Compañía Aérea de Transportes, was incorporated on 28 June 1927 with a capital investment by the financier Horatio Echeverrieta and Deutsche Lufthansa of 1.1 million pesetas. Flight operations started on 14 December 1927. Within a year, the company was sponsored by the Spanish government to provide postal transport between Madrid and Barcelona. During the dictatorship of Miguel Primo de Rivera, the aviation companies in Spain were combined and became state-controlled as a general interest public utility, coming into effect in early 1928. As a consequence, Iberia was merged into Compañía de Líneas Aéreas Subvencionadas S.A. and ceased activities as an independent airline on 29 May 1929. The name Iberia continued to be registered by Director General Daniel de Arroz y as the name Iberia was still registered. It was used when operations began in nationalist-held territory towards the end of the Spanish Civil War. Following the Civil War, Iberia became a purely domestic airline. The airline was nationalized on 30 September 1944 and became part of INI. In 1946, Iberia was the first airline to fly between Europe and South America after World War II, using a Douglas DC-4 to operate flights between Madrid and Buenos Aires. By the Pact of Madrid in 1953, visa requirements were eliminated for U.S. visitors to Spain. This stimulated the start of transatlantic flights between Spain and United States the following year. In addition, the amendments made in Montreal to the Convention on International Civil Aviation on 14 June 1954 were liberal to Spain, allowing mass tourism using charter planes. By the time of its 50th anniversary in 1981, the airline carried over 10 million passengers in a year for the first time. From 1961, Iberia had a fleet of Douglas DC-8 four-engined long-range jet airliners. The busiest route was Madrid to Buenos Aires. By 1965, a joint board of Iberia and Aviaco was set up to coordinate policies so that services did not conflict. In the early 1970s, the company bought Douglas DC-9s and Boeing 747s as it expanded routes to Central America. In the late 1980s, early 1990s, Iberia planned a fleet renewal with the McDonnell Douglas MD-87, Airbus A320 and Airbus A340, replacing the Douglas DC-9, Boeing 727 and Douglas DC-10 respectively. A number of Boeing 757s were also bought. In 1987, Iberia, together with Lufthansa, Air France and SAS, founded Amadeus, an IT company that would enable travel agencies to sell the founders and other airlines products from a single system. In the final of the 80s, Iberia began to build up interests in other Spanish airlines: Aviaco, Viva Air, Binter Canarias and Binter Mediterráneo, and Latin American airlines Aerolíneas Argentinas, Viasa and Ladeco. In June 1990, the company led a consortium to buy Aerolíneas Argentinas for an agreed $2 billion for 85% stake, and the following year bought 45% stake in Viasa for $145 million. In 1991, Iberia set up Europe's first international airline frequent flyer program, Iberia Plus, and, in 1996, the airline launched the www.Iberia.com website. The company ordered 76 aircraft from Airbus in February 1998, which was largest single consignment of Airbus orders, and bought Aviaco in 1999 and inherited its fleet. During 2001, Iberia was privatized and shares were listed on stock exchanges. By 2002, when Iberia celebrated the 75th anniversary, nearly 500 million people had flown with them. The Iberia Group encompasses the Iberia Regional Air Nostrum franchise. In addition to transporting passengers and freight, Iberia carries out many related activities, such as aircraft maintenance, handling in airports, IT systems, in-flight catering, and holiday packages. In July 2004, Iberia announced it had decided to move its Latin American hub from Miami, Florida to San Pedro Sula, Honduras. On the 5th of February 2006, Terminal 4 at Madrid-Barajas was turned over to Iberia and the One World Alliance members. This provided much-needed expansion capabilities for Iberia. Iberia is responsible for around 60% of the airport's traffic. In 2005, the airline and its regional branch Air Nostrum transported 21,619,041 passengers to, from Barajas. Iberia partially owns a low-cost carrier called Click Air, launched in November 2006. On November 12, 2009, Iberia Airlines confirmed that it had reached a preliminary agreement to merge with British Airways. The merger between the two carriers will create the world's third-largest airline in terms of revenue. On April 25, 2010, it was confirmed that British Airways and Iberia had agreed to a merger, forming the International Airlines Group, although each airline would continue to operate under its current brand. In November 2012, Iberia announced plans to reduce the number of employees by 4,500 and its fleet by 5 long-haul and 20 short-haul aircraft. In 2012, Iberia established its own low-cost airline, Iberia Express, which operates short and medium-haul routes from its parent airline's Madrid hub, providing feeder flights onto Iberia's long-haul network. The airline began operating on the 25th of March 2012 and shares its head office with Iberia in Chamartin, Madrid. Until 2013, Iberia's livery consisted of a white background with large orange and yellow accent stripes and a stylized ib on the tail, used since 1978. On 15 October 2013, Iberia released its new corporate design, which first appeared on a newly delivered A330-300 in late November and is gradually being applied across the fleet. Corporate Affairs. Head Office. The company head office is in the MV49 Business Park in Madrid. This facility is in proximity to the intersection of the Autopista de Circunvalación M30 and Avenida de América. In 2013 the company moved its head office from the former Campos Velázquez, in the Salamanca district of Madrid, to save money. Ownership. On 3 April 2001, Iberia was privatized and included in the IBEX 35 stock index of the Madrid Stock Exchange. The core shareholders were Cargi Madrid 23.45%, British Airways 13.2%, SCPI 5.20%, El Corte Inglés 2.90%. British Airways raised its stake in Iberia by purchasing American Airlines' remaining shares, reportedly paying £13 million for the small shareholding. This increased BA's total stake in Iberia to around 10% and preserved its 2 seats on the Iberia board. On July 2008, British Airways and Iberia announced plans to merge, wherein each airline would retain its original brand. The agreement was confirmed in April 2010, and in July the European Commission and United States Department of Transportation permitted the merger and began to coordinate transatlantic routes with American Airlines. On 6 October 2010, the alliance between British Airways, American Airlines and Iberia formally began operations. The alliance generates an estimated £230 million in annual cost saving for BA, in addition to the £330 million which would be saved by the merge with Iberia. The merger was finalized on 21 January 2011, resulting in the International Airlines Group, the world's third largest airline in terms of annual revenue and the second largest airline group in Europe. Prior to merging, British Airways owned a 13.5% stake in Iberia, and thus received ownership of 55% of the combined International Airlines Group. Iberia's other shareholders received the remaining 45%. The merger has been controversial. British Airways operates 2 funded principal defined benefit pension schemes in the UK. BA admits that one of the most serious financial risks they suffer is the challenging pension scheme's combined deficit. The last actuarial valuation was £3.7 billion, value even greater than IAG capitalisation. In addition, and according to the Pensions Act, for the year 2004, should it be necessary, UK's pension regulator could force Iberia or IAG to give additional financial support to BA's retirement pension schemes. In their annual report and accounts year ended 31 December 2011, BA declares that negative movements in pension asset values and financial returns for these assets may increase the size of the pension deficit. This is the reason why IAG is currently under dividend restrictions, which are expected to be partly dependent on the UK pension regulators' agreement. As of December 2013, the airline had over 18,000 employees, subsidiaries and alliances. Iberia has a 9.49% stake in low-cost carrier Vueling, which is based near Barcelona, with parent company IAG owning the remaining 90.51%. This was done to ensure that IAG does not have 100% of the shares in Vueling, but that the shares are split between its divisions. Iberia also has a 0.95% share in Royal Air Maroc. Iberia is allied with American Airlines, Qantas, Avianca, British Airways, and Grupo TACA, and on 1 September 1999, the company joined the One World Alliance. British Airways owns 55% of its share capital. Iberia has a code-share agreement with several One World members. Cathay Pacific on flights from Amsterdam and London Heathrow to Hong Kong. Japan Airlines on flights from Amsterdam to Tokyo Narita and Royal Jordanian from Madrid to Oman. And with LAN Airlines for flights connecting Latin America and most of Europe. Iberia formerly owned Aviaco, which operated most domestic routes. It was founded on the 18th of February 1948 and operated until the 1st of September 1999. Iberia also owned Binter Canarias, until the Spanish government began the privatization of the subsidiary. Iberia Inversions Aéreas bought the airline from Iberia in July 2002. A second airline using the Binter name, Binter Mediterraneo, was formed as a subsidiary of Iberia in 1988 with routes from Melilla to Malaga, Almeria, Valencia and in its last year, with Madrid. The airline was acquired by Air Nostrum in 1998 and merged into its operations. Destinations. Codeshare agreements. Iberia has codeshare agreements with the following airlines. Fleet. Current fleet. Iberia operates on all Airbus fleet of the following aircraft as of August 2016. Fleet development. Over the years, Iberia operated the following aircraft types. Services. Iberia was a founding partner in the computerized air ticket reservation system, Amadeus, with an 18.28% stake. This was sold in 2005. Iberia is also active as a tour operator through its Viva Tours and Tiempo Libre units, and with Casesa, it supplies parcel shipment services. E-ticket sales accounted for 93% of all Iberia tickets sold in January 2006. In addition, Iberia is an aircraft maintenance company, servicing its fleet and those of another 48 companies, including some leading European airlines. Iberia is a supplier of aircraft handling services at all Spanish airports. Its airline clients number more than 200 cabins, all of aircraft in the fleet configured in a two-class layout with business and economy cabins. Iberia was one of the last remaining major airlines to equip all of its intercontinental routes with PTVs and A340-600 fleets with IFE installed. In March 2009, Iberia announced that during the course of 2009 to 2011 it would renovate its economy class on all its planes, as well as designing a new business class for its long-haul planes. In-flight catering is provided by Gate Gourmet. Iberia currently markets 3 distinct business class variations, depending on flight length. Business class is available on Spanish domestic and inter-European flights. Seats are exactly the same as in the economy cabin, but with the middle seats blocked off. Business class tickets also include improved ground service. Business Club is a mid-haul product available on flights to select destinations in Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Israel, Nigeria, and Russia. Unlike on short-haul service, Business Club seats are located in a dedicated cabin, are physically wider, have a greater seat pitch, and are equipped with leg rests and in-seat video on demand. Business Plus is offered on long-haul flights to the Americas and Southern Africa. Business Plus offers lie-flat seating and international business class amenities. Economy. Iberia has moved more to an American, or a la carte, model for domestic and European flights, offering a buy-on-board service called 2-menu. In economy for meals, snacks and beverages. Mid-haul flights to Athens, Cairo, Dhaka, Istanbul, Malabo, Moscow, and Tel Aviv, as well as long-haul intercontinental flights are fully catered in economy with the exception of alcohol. Incidents and accidents.